Dream, 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 dream.
This is a half-acre field on our 9-acre farm that we intentionally fenced off as a half-acre to demonstrate the spin farming method of intensive farming. And SPIN stands for small plot intensive farming.
Okay.
And SPIN is specifically designed for an urban application. We're still semi-rural out here, but we want to demonstrate this because it can be applied into the city on a half-acre lot or even in people's backyards. So the standard SPIN bed is 2 feet wide and 25 feet long. So if you want to bring the camera down here,
yes,
you can
absolutely.
see these. This will give you an idea of the width of a standard SPIN bed. These beds they happen to be 45 feet long, but if you turn around and turn this way, you'll see that the beds are 25 feet long. The length of the bed is rather immaterial to the method. We simply have chosen to divide up this half-acre field into different size sections with different lengths of beds, but the principles are all the same. The idea is 2 foot wide bed, narrow pathways. All the work is done by hand. The most mechanized thing that we use is a rototiller.
Okay.
And so it's designed to grow a lot of food in a small space. And we're actually only 2 months into seriously quantifying what we can do with the SPIN method here. So we're recording, we weigh the seed when we plant the bed, and we weigh the produce when we're done. We track all of the inputs. We're tracking our labor and everything. Just to give you an example of the possibilities of a SPIN approach, this row right here is daikon radish.
Okay.
And if you can see with the camera, the bed is full, and about halfway down you can see where I harvested on one side.
Yes. From
there to the fence, that short length, we got 45 pounds of radishes. That gives you an idea of the possibilities. Another example would be this row of spinach. This is a 45-foot long row of spinach. There's 4 rows in a 2 foot wide bed. And we harvested this a couple days ago, and we got 30 pounds of spinach off of this bed.
And when was this planted?
This bed was planted on January, let's see, where's my date here? This bed was planted on 12/8.
12/8. And how many hours, man hours, would you say went into that?
Well, there was a gentleman helping me, and we were talking as we were working, so we weren't working at full speed. Mm-hmm. But the two of us harvested this bed in 2 hours.
2 hours, okay.
Cutting it by hand with the scissors. And then there would have been a few minutes in terms of bed preparation, a few more minutes in planting, and then some time spent thinning and weeding throughout the growing process. But all in all, maybe 5 man hours.
So 5 man hours and just waiting around.
Yeah, right.
Produce 35 pounds of radish.
30
spinach.
pounds of spinach, right?
Okay.
It's you know, when you get a routine going, that the author of SPIN farming, a guy named Wally, he's up in Canada. You know, he's perfected it to a science, and he makes his living farming 25 backyards. And those 25 backyards add up to a half-acre. But he's a professional farmer. This isn't gardening. This is commercial farming on a mini scale,
right,
in an urban setting, and he's making a living, supporting himself. You know, this could be duplicated all across the country, and there's no reason why every city in this nation couldn't be, you know, establish food security. just within the city limits. This valley is a prime case of wasted land everywhere you turn. It's sitting idle, waiting for farmers or waiting for someone with the vision for urban farming.
Dream, 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 dream when I want you in my arms, when I want you, and all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream, 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 dream when I feel blue in the night, and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, 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 dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away.
You would have a meat source, you would have a manure source, you'd have your worms, you have your garden, you have your whole integrated system in your backyard. And this was routine 50 years ago. My brother-in-law grew up in Pomona. In the 50s, his dad had an acre, and they grew vegetables, they had rabbits and chickens, and they didn't have to buy much food.
Wow.
At all. You could get real close to self-supporting in your own backyard. You made work of it, but see that, what's that going to do to the economy? They want you out spending money, right? They don't want you self-sufficient. See that?
Yep.
And then we take this raw material, we put it through the spinner, and we create worm castings.
And this would be the best type of fertilizer?
This is you know, worm poop, you know.
Okay.
Right.
But in the scale of animals worldwide, the #1 manure for fertilizer is bat guano.
Yeah.
They harvest it from caves. #2 is worm castings. And I got 2 of these barrels full from this one bed.
And how long did that process take, you would say?
For the worms to create that?
Yes.
Oh, a couple of months, 2-3 months. See, the worms are always multiplying. So as you harvest, you take half the worms, and you know, pretty soon this whole barn is exponential.
Yeah.
You know, pretty soon I'll have a guy full time spinning that. I don't want to create a monster here, so we have this. We're making enough for our own use, and I'm doing a whole half acre, and there's extra here for sale. This stuff is worth $8 for 2 pounds. There's hundreds of dollars of worm casting potential sales here if you wanted to develop that market. And
Dream, 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 dream when I want you.
this is my volunteer log, and as I said, I started January 1 wanting to be very intentional about all this, and so ideas started coming to me. I didn't get this idea until January 10. But I thought, you know, people are going to come and volunteer, and our first volunteer actually came on the 10th. And I thought I should have a log so they can So when they leave, they write down their name, the date they came, the hours worked, the task completed, and any comments or suggestions.
Right.
So the first was Benjamin, and he was a court-ordered community service. And I'm listed, you know, for people can come do community service hours. So here's Benjamin on 110. So people started coming and writing. So let me get this open here. You can see the effect. So there, after the end of the first month, on 211, 110 to 211, 31 volunteers and a cumulative of 220 hours. And I kind of recapped here all the different tasks that were completed. And now we've gone on. So here we go, 214. What is today?
The 23rd.
So we're up to 225.
Nice.
So that's roughly one employee.
The other thing for me personally, I mentioned earlier my career was in cattle, and we were raising young stock for the local dairies. And so this is 9 acres, and I rented the one next door, which is 5 acres. So on that 14 acres, we had over 3,000 head of calves packed in, and we were a CAFO, a concentrated animal feeding operation. And of course, that term hadn't been coined back then, and I had no clue that what I was doing was unsustainable. I never heard that word. It's just what we did.
Right.
But the whole thing imploded with the concentration of the animals and disease buildup and high death loss, and the whole thing just imploded. And I didn't realize I was working against nature. That 30 years was lost to working against nature. Now we're doing vegetables the organic way. I can't think of a more beautiful way of cooperating with nature. I mean, every single force that God put into place, I mean, that seed is created to grow and bring life and be productive. You put it in the ground and it grows, and a little bit of nurturing and common sense, and it's very sustainable, and it's not hard, it's easy. Trying to keep the young stock alive in a concentrated situation is extremely hard. The labor might be taxing, you know, but it's not hard. It's a different kind of, you know, it's just not hard. It's not that hard. So when you cooperate with nature, it's a beautiful experience.
Dream.